Hey everybody, this is problem 11 from the week 3 quiz access chapters 1 through 12. I saw a lot of people seem like they were struggling with this one, so I'm just gonna put this out there for you. So it tells us that the Shep Company's records have the following information for the year, and it gives us their total assets and total liabilities at the beginning and the end of the year. And then it wants us to determine the net income or loss from each of the following situations, and it wants us to take each one separately. Okay, so what we're going to have to do here, since we want to figure out the change to net income or net loss. So what we have to do is start by figuring out our stockholders' equity or just our equity, because our net income is part of our equity. Okay, in fact, so we know that the stockholders' equity, or we'll just call it equity, equals our common stock, which I'll just abbreviate as CS, plus, it doesn't like it when I do that, sorry, plus our net income, minus any dividends that we pay out. I am not having an easy time with this. Let's see, minus our dividends. Okay, so let's start by figuring out what our equity is. We know that assets equal liabilities plus equity. So if I know my assets at the beginning of the year, in this case, we're 54,800. And then my liabilities were 24,400. I know that assets equals liabilities plus equity. Then I know my equity is just going to be my assets minus my liabilities. We can do the same thing for the end of the year. Assets were 86,000. Liabilities were 37,400. And so my equity was 48,600. So that gives me a good starting point, especially since I know that equity equals common stock plus net income minus dividends. So to use these to sort of figure it out, so I'll do scenario A here first. I can say my equity at the beginning of the year, which was 30,400, plus additions to common stock. So I'm just going to put CS for common stock, which for this one I'm told is 5,400, plus any net income, which I don't know, right? That's my question mark. Sorry, that extra S is going to bother me. All right. Minus or less dividends. My dividends for this one were 9,400. Is going to equal my ending equity, which I know from figuring it out earlier was 48,600. So now I have all the variables I need to calculate my net income. I know that I have to do 30,400 plus common stock plus whatever that net income is minus the dividend is going to give us our equity. So to find that out here, I'm just going to say ending equity and I get 22,200. So again, all I did was reframe that algebraically. Okay, maybe it'd be helpful to see that. So if I had beginning equity plus the addition to or change to common stock plus change to net income minus the dividend equals equity at the end. I want to solve for net income. So if I reframe that algebraically, I would just say that net income equals equity at the end minus the equity at the beginning minus common stock plus dividend. So that's all I was doing right here, okay, using Excel. So there's scenario A where we found out that our net income is 22,200. Okay, so we could do the same thing for scenario B now, which is additional common stock of 15,600 was issued and no dividends were paid during the current year. So again, I'm just going to label this one A. This one we'll do is B. So again, we'll start with our equity at the beginning, 30,400. We know that there was common stock of 15,600 issued. We don't know what our net income is. We know that dividends were 0. And we know that our equity at the end of the year was 48,600. So again, we can solve for the net income by simply doing equity at the end minus equity at the beginning minus change to common stock plus the dividend, which in this case is 0. So, and that gives me a net income of the year of 2,600. Scenario C, no additional common stock was issued and dividends of 14,400 were paid during the year. So again, beginning equity of 30,400. No common stock was issued. We don't know what our net income was. That's our question. Our dividend was 14,400. And our ending equity was 48,600. Same process. We say this equals our ending equity minus our beginning equity minus our change in common stock plus our dividend. And that gives us a net income of 32,600 for the year. I hope that was useful to you. Anyway, so good luck. And as always, don't be afraid to post things here or reach out to your instructor or to the tutors if you need additional help.